And we're here with John Danner from the Greene County Solid Waste Management District. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
I wanted to ask you, we mentioned in our prepackage that there are challenges inherent to rural recycling. Obviously, people typically have to go a longer distance than they would in Bloomington to get their recyclables to you. What are some of the challenges, I wondered, that people might not know about that are inherent to rural recycling?
There are challenges to some degree. Although we are located near Switz City, I think we're the third largest county in the state. We also have a mobile recycling trailer that we put in Linton that we're constantly emptying out. So that helps take care of Linton. And then we have a small satellite station in Worthington that we drive and exchange the toters and dump them and keep it clean. We also have a mobile trailer that goes from town to town, from Owensburg to Eastern to Lyons to Jasonville, and that helps to gather up stuff. Our main challenge right now, it's not really a problem, it's keeping up. So far this year, we've gathered 750,000 pounds of cardboard alone, which is more than we collected in 2009.
Wow.
So our goal is 1 million pounds this year. So for a crew of 5, we're learning how to streamline. And I think that good behavior is contagious. Some of these folks see their friends recycling, a bit of advertising, they do it too. And there are some folks that I see very seldom, they bring so little, but it's because they don't buy much packaging. They bring their jars to a food co-op or a farmer's market, and it's just wonderful.
And they reuse a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Are people constantly asking you guys for more? If this is going well, and it sounds like it is, do you find that people come and say, can we have things that are nearer to us?
We're trying to do that. Our goal is at some point to get what's called a horizontal baler, which is more efficient, and a packer truck, which will save a lot of driving, because I pick up recyclables myself. We all do, and then bring them back and bale them. And there's only a 5-man crew, so we're learning how to streamline. And for instance, our place in Worthington, I used to switch out the toters weekly, then 3 times every 2 weeks. Now it's twice a week because more folks are recycling. So it's not a problem so much as a challenge to figure out how to handle that. And so far, it's enjoyable.
And it sounds like all of you, the 5 of you, are all learning to do a number of different jobs to keep the organization running as a whole.
Absolutely. And our director is full of ideas, and they're good ideas, and they seem to work real well. So it's fun.
What kind of things are you doing on a daily basis other than going to empty those toters?
Well, for instance, we have a couple trucks. I'll drive one in a trailer. I may go to Bloomfield that day and pick up all the cardboard, all the plastic I can gather from the commercial enterprises and bring those back. And then I'll go to Worthington. Then I'll help to bale the stuff. I also work with hazardous materials, so I take care of the lead-based paint and the mercury vapor stuff. And
so a lot of different things are going on.
And then I'll grab a broom.
Well, actually, let's go right now to Spencer, where we also sent our camera crew to find out what recycling is like in Spencer.
We've only got so much space to use, so it just kind of makes sense that we reuse the materials that we have.
Like they've shown on the TV shows, you know, with birds getting their heads stuck in Coke can wrappers and everything. It's just, you know, saves animals' lives, keeps landfills down. So.
It saves the natural resources that we have to put back in to replace, so use it over and over. That seems common sense to me.
Well, you got me on that one. I really don't know. It just recycling the materials, no pollution. That's about it.
I kind of rely on some of the recycling for a little extra income.
Well, it seems like everybody is talking about some of the problems inherent with rural recycling. And Larry, I would like to start with you, because we were talking about this a little bit before the show about maybe what some of the solutions are to the problems that people have in rural areas with recycling.
One of the initiatives that we are looking at right now in Monroe County is a material recovery facility, MRF for short. And the philosophy behind the MRF is being able to go out and collect all of the recyclables in a regional area, bring it to one central processing facility, process that material, and then send it off to the manufacturer who can reuse that material, which drastically reduces the carbon footprint that's out here today. We feel by having a regionalized MRF that we can help our surrounding counties that are struggling today.
We also talked a little bit about the fact that there is an incentive for people to bring their recyclables to a MRF. You said an economic one as well. It could be. Could you talk about that a little bit?
And that's true, and we hope to be able to wash this out within a year or so of the operational of the MRF. One of our long-term goals, of course, is the more commodities you bring us, we will be able to process that and be able to give you back a rebate on those commodities. The way I look at it is, instead of having to pay $41 or $50 or whatever the number is to put that commodity in the trash, bring it to us for free, and then if we got a good stream going, we can give you some money back for that commodity.
I want to move now to electronic recycling, and this has been a big year for that. And Carrie, I'd like to go to you about the bill that was recently passed, the law that was passed actually defining electronic recycling and helping people make that happen.
Thanks, Ann. Well, in 2009, the Indiana Recycling Coalition went to the State House, and we took a relatively progressive, for Indiana, electronics recycling bill that focused on producer responsibility. So what we were pushing for successfully was to ask the manufacturers of electronics to pay for a certain amount of recycling of electronics in Indiana. That closed loop model of responsibility is very important, both to pay for electronics in the most logical way. They make it, it's important to have that responsibility chain, but also because we knew that when the manufacturers are encouraged or required to pay for electronics recycling, that they will then start to make products that are less toxic and more easily recycled to reduce their costs, which is a win-win for everyone. So we were successful in that effort. Indiana now has one of the most progressive electronics recycling laws in the nation. And we have already seen new green jobs coming to Indiana because of this law, and we're starting to see more electronics recycling programs in communities and many free services or reduced fees to residents for that collection. So it's been a great success, and we're very excited about that.
We were seeing video of IU's electronic recycling. I'd like to go to Paul now to talk about Indiana State University's efforts with this as well.
We started electronic recycling in 2007 in partnership with a local nonprofit, Trees Inc. And with their help, we started doing one-day events twice a year. Our first event brought in 250,000 pounds of materials in a 4-hour period. And so we immediately realized that the need was there to continue to do this. And last July, we were able to begin daily drop-off of electronic recycling at our drive-through facility. And so we're very pleased that that we hit the nail on the head, so to speak, and really seem to be meeting the need for the general public to be able to adequately recycle their old electronics.
And outside of Indiana University, Monroe County is also doing its part too with this as well, right, Larry?
We are very excited about our program here in Monroe County, and we really appreciate what Carrie has done with the legislator to get this bill through. We have teamed up with a company called Electronic Recycling International, ERI for short. We have got a tremendous contract with them for unlimited tonnage, to where now when it used to cost you $21 to recycle a TV, it only costs you $1.
That's great.
It is tremendous, and we have actually found customers bringing in TVs with leaves in them, with grass in them, computer monitors with leaves and grass in them, so we know they're coming out of the ditches, we know they're coming out of the barns and garages, and they're properly getting recycled, and that's the key right there, properly getting recycled.
All right, well, let's take it over to Stan with more on this topic. Stan.